How's it going, folks? Thought I'd give you a bit of a look at what we're doing to the lime tree today. We need to give it a bit of a prune. But first of all, we have to harvest all the limes on there. You can see a few on this side, there's even more over on the other side. But what we're looking at doing is a pretty dramatic cutback actually. We're thinking about taking it back to there and everything above it coming off. The reason we're doing it now is because we're in the end of autumn. So citrus can be susceptible to sunburn on the bark. We figured if we do it now through autumn and winter, it'll have enough time to bounce back come spring, and we should have loads of new growth for the next flush. I mean, just look at the amount of limes we have in through here, and then up through there, there's even more. So we've already had Hamish from Naughty Goat Farm come around. G'day H. He's already taken a bag load. And we have a couple of other people that are after some as well, and we wouldn't mind some juice for the freezer. So I thought, yeah, I'll give you a bit of a quick look at what she looks like beforehand from this side and the other side. As you can see from this side, she is a pretty large tree, and you might be able to make out we do have a little bit of a nutrient deficiency. So what we'll probably end up doing is feeding up the soil underneath, just emptying a bag of compost on there, and then we'll mulch up these leaves and pop it over the top. And that'll break down and feed her back up. But yeah, as you can tell, she's growing out the side here, out past the bay tree, and really does need a little bit of TLC. Oh, the other reason we want to give her a haircut is we've got garden beds we want to set up behind her, plus the veggie pod over there, which as you can see is doing rather well. And as our sun is coming from behind me here, as I face the veggie pod through winter, it will be cutting out a lot of sunlight behind there as it falls lower in the sky. But that's enough prattling on. I'll set up the camera and bring you small mini updates as we give her a haircut, and then give you a final look at the harvest and the end result. So I've already mentioned one of the reasons we're cutting it back, and that's to allow some more sunlight into the yard. And not only that, cutting her right back, giving her a good hard prune, is also going to open up some valuable bed space underneath the tree itself, especially things as we're taking off some of the lower branches, which will also help to increase some airflow. Now the real estate underneath we can also plant out with some ornamentals or maybe some herbs, and they will help attract some beneficial insects like the yellow-shouldered lady beetles that we get here. Those little fellas are really good at knocking off the aphids we sometimes get on the citrus trees here. So I just thought I'd show you a couple of things here. Firstly, that there is a little gall that's created by a gall wasp. What happens is the wasp comes in, lays its eggs, and the larvae creates this little bit of a gall around itself as it matures, and then yeah, basically hatches out as a wasp and goes around and buzzes another branch somewhere else. So these things here have to come off. And the other thing I am doing is just snapping off any of these smaller branches, and anything that's sort of crossing over larger branches. I might as well take them out now, because we're only going to snip them off later anyway, and they can actually be a bit of a hazard as you're leaning into the tree, poking you in the eye. And you can probably see this one here as well, same thing. It's growing through the other branches. So I'll nip this small one off first. It's got a couple of limes on it, and then this one as well. Now I'm not too sure whether we're actually going to be keeping this whole branch yet. We're just going to do all these smaller cuts first, and then we'll come back and make those decisions a little bit later. So these little branches down the bottom, we definitely want to get rid of them. We don't really want too many branches down low. This one here is actually a dead branch. Oh no, it's a bit of life to him. So taking it off clean as cut as possible. And these ones over the back here, coming up through this little section here and then growing out towards the back, we definitely want to get rid of that. And also the other branch coming out towards the front, this one here, we want to get rid of that as well. So what I might do is I'll make a couple of cuts. I'll take the branches off singly just to make them easy to pull the fruit from and also run through the mulcher. But then we might come back and take this one off just below there, and then yeah, we'll see if we're going to save him next year or whether it might be something we take off at a later date. So I'll get these ones off first.
All right, so we were just talking about what we're going to do in the middle here, and we spotted this branch, which is an offshoot of this main one, and you can see it's crossing over in multiple directions. So we'll take all that back and cut this one off here, and then this branch can come off as well, and then we'll let the main branch continue upwards.
And that branch coming out directly towards us that's resting on the other one?
This one?
Yep, we're going to keep that one. I reckon we keep that one.
I reckon we keep that one too.
Because it fills it out towards this side.
Yeah, and it's high enough up, you know, to let the air flow in underneath. So that one can stay, and that one
Over
off
the back
to the
there.
side bit, that's pretty good too. So we'll leave this main upwards going trunks, but this lower stuff can come off.
Cool. Back to snipping.
Alrighty.
So we're about halfway through, and we've still got all those limes up in there, down through there, and a load more down through there, all over there. And Bianca's just added a couple into this bucket, and I'll show you the rest. So we have a 20 litre bucket almost full. I think that's about a 40 litre tote almost full, and that's just our scrap bucket down there. Some of the greenery that we will be mulching down and using as the mulch underneath, and we still have all this side over here to harvest yet. So the lot we gave Hamish didn't even make a dent. No, so are you just going to keep picking as many as you can off?
Yeah, until I start hurting my face.
Okay. Bianca's got a few wall wounds already, so not very thorny, but there are some nasty little thorns in there. So I'm going to put this down and get back to it, or I could just sit here and watch Bianca. No.
You could put the phone down and help.
Okay, I might do that. I'll put the phone down and hook back into it, hey? So I'm just going to hook into the last of these guys now, and we might come back tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late, and we'll do the final cuts, just bringing the tree down to size. So we started off day 2 by raking away all the old mulch and feeding up the soil with some compost. It's just a bag variety, something we like to use around the place here, and we will be giving the plant a bit of a liquid feed through the season. And then it was just a matter of mulching down all the smaller branches that would fit through the mulcher and piling them on top. So there you go, folks, the job is done. Now normally if you're in a hotter climate or doing something like this through all the warmer months, we're coming into winter now, you would paint the trunk itself with some citrus wash just to protect it from the sun. I'm not going to worry about that. I've got a section of shade cloth down the back there. I'm just going to drape over the top of her, and that'll offer her a little bit of protection. And I'm sure as soon as spring hits, she's just going to fill out nicely with leaves. So folks, I've had a little bit of a rethink about the shade cloth, and I do think that I will be lime washing the tree. I'm going to make up my own lime wash for it. The reason being is this cloth will impede any growth that comes out of the end of these branches here. So what I think I'd prefer to do is just protect it with a DIY lime wash. So if you are interested in seeing how I make up that lime wash and apply it to the tree, all you need to do is hit that little subscribe button down there and pound on the bell icon. And fingers crossed, YouTube will send you a notification as soon as that clip is uploaded to the channel. Now let's get back to the clip. Now on to the yield. Well, that's what we ended up with. And what were you just saying, Bianca?
I think we have enough lemons to cover till she's recovered and fruiting again.
We have enough what?
We have enough lemons. Oh my God, we have enough limes.
We have enough limes. So there we go. So definitely, more than we need. We've already got some mates who've picked some up, and we've got some other people who are chasing some as well. So hopefully, by the end of it, we're only going to have about a 40 litre tote left for our own use. A lot of this is just going to end up being juiced and frozen, We're actually really interested in knowing what you folks suggest we use the limes in, so if you could leave your suggestions in the comment section down below, we'd really appreciate it, because we're going to run out of ideas very fast, I think. So there you go, folks. There's a bit of a look at the pruning of the tree and a nice little harvest, hey?
Yes.
Can't complain whatsoever. And yeah, a lot of it will be used as lemon butter. Some
Lime butter.
Lime butter. Bianca was calling him lemon before, now it's my turn.
Yes.
A few will make it into gin or two, I dare say. A couple of ginger and lime teas.
Yes.
And like
pie.
a pie?
I'll try a lime pie. Never
Lime
done
pie.
one.
And I'm sure we've got many willing takers to take a couple of bags off our hands as well. Where was I? I don't know, Bianca's phone just went off. How about we just say, hope you enjoyed the clip, folks, and yeah, feel free to share it around to your family and friends if you reckon they'll get a kick out of it as well. And before I go, I really do need to thank you all for coming along, and also thanks those folks supporting us through the Farm Your Own Yard website and also the YouTube membership program. So thank you very much, folks, really do appreciate it. But I will pretty much all leave it there, so will Bianca, and we'll head off and start squeezing some limes. So there you go, folks, take it easy, and I'll catch you next clip. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. So babe, do you reckon maybe we should get a proper little lime juicer?
Yes.
Yes. Because these buckets are going to take us forever.